This is the beginning of my videos about history here on my channel. Um, I kind of am going to finish my history major here within this year, hopefully, and pretty much I kind of am understanding that I have an interest in history just as much as I do philosophy. So along with all the millions of things I'm doing here already, I'm going to be doing videos about history. I'll put them in little series, like one. My first series, which I'm doing here, is going to be about the Civil War. Basically, going hopefully pretty detailed into everything that has happened. All the battles and everything, and getting into that a good amount. And I guess hopefully it'll work pretty well. This video is just basically going to be about the presidency of James Buchanan. Buchanan is not a very well-known president these days. I mean, he is not one that is very notable, nor was he very, I guess, he wasn't very active. He didn't have much progress with the House or the Senate. He didn't really have much progress at all. So I guess what I'm going to be using in this series on the Civil War, this book being one of them, by Bruce Catton. This basically is kind of an old book. This basically I'm going to be doing stuff out of this book, along with the book that I have on my Kindle app on my iPad, which is called also the Civil War, but it's by Louis P. Masser. That book, I believe, is pretty well known in the history of the Civil War, and hopefully, it's going to be quite a few videos. Hopefully, I'll find some other literature to be reading. But basically, in this video, I want to discuss the presidency of James Buchanan. Buchanan was basically somebody who came into office at a very big time of unrest, and I'm going to get into in a couple future videos the way the House was divided, the way the whole country was divided, the compromises that came before, and talking about a certain person which I really like, a certain person who kind of helped bring along those compromises. And I will give a brief history between 1812 and 1860, like a brief history, and how slavery was just kind of something that was not everyone agreed on. It was kind of something that was just kind of tabled as to how to think about it as a nation, and it's kind of something that was there. It was there, and it was just kind of, we don't all agree on this, and we don't think it's best. We're not going to really solve it right now. We're going to kind of table the idea of figuring something out about it. And as you know, as 1860 approached, it's like a powder cake. But Buchanan came into office in 1856. He was of the Democratic Party, and at that period of time, we had the Democrats who split into a northern Democrats and a southern Democrats, and the Whigs, basically the Whigs, which were a party that was there since the time of the Revolution, if not before. Basically, the Whigs were gone, and we had a new party which is called the Republicans. The Republicans, which definitely a different party than it is today, and basically he tried to push a lot of different tried to spearhead and push different legislation, and didn't really understand that the North is not going to accept any kind of legislation that would be beneficial to the South at all. So at this point in time, we have a divided House, which I'm definitely get into in a couple videos, which will happen soon. Furthermore, he wanted to make Kansas a state. Kansas at the time was a territory. He wanted to bring it in as a state, as a slave state, and that's kind of when he was alienated from his own party. His own party didn't even like him anymore, and the Republicans were also mad too at the whole idea of it. So you have a very, very tense, unstable situation that was this whole country. The House was, and the whole nation was. So then he also kind of, there was a legal right of the states that they could oppose any kind of thing. They could act if their right to act as a state was undermined, and they even had the right to secede or to no longer be a part of the country. And I'm definitely going to get into the first state that did secede and how the whole thing kind of steamrolled, and we had the Confederate States of America. So he also did reinforce Fort Sumter. Fort Sumter was just like it's amazing to read about. I think how that whole thing worked, and how the first guns went off and everything, how the whole first thing went off there, which I will also be getting into. So basically, Buchanan was kind of a president who tried a lot of things, didn't work, just made people very unhappy with him, and he had a policy of not doing anything from then on. He just kind of didn't really do anything else from that to the end of his presidency in 1860. And he kind of, he's kind of been looked at as a nothing president, a president who didn't really do anything, which is pretty much true, because the things he tried to do didn't work, but that's you really can't blame him, because he came into office as he came into office of a country that was very tense and unstable, and just ready to, basically ready to blow. So that is Buchanan. As you know, the 16th president is of course our friend Abraham Lincoln, which there's a ton more videos to come on the Civil War. If you have a certain thing that you wish that should have included about Mr. Buchanan, or something I should have included, let me know. Or if I had a fact which was not true here, let me know. But I got a ton more videos like this to come.